Cool.
Tell you about some Keith Sweat.
What?
I was on an Uber ride and somebody had Keith Sweat on.
Check.
I'm out to record because you hit.
Woo! Check.
Yeah, boy.
Wait, put that closer.
Closer. All right, yeah.
Or you slide closer. You got space to move in. Oh no, you just have the edge.
Yeah.
Let me see. Go ahead, say something.
All right, man. Go ahead.
Testing.
What's up?
That's good enough. I'll
Everybody good?
see what I record if I need to adjust it. Yo, welcome back to Coolin Out.
Kev.
So.
That's that Scorpion.
Scorpion approach.
Scorpion season's almost on.
Little sassy young man. Won't be surprised you get a tongue ring.
Stop. We have a guest.
Alright, we have a guest. I'm not gonna embarrass you.
You know, now to talk about that in high school, that was a big thing. Niggas was getting tongue rings.
That was in the Hispanic community.
No, it wasn't. It was African American.
That was in the Hispanic community.
Nah,
I've never seen that before.
My Caribbean mother would have slapped.
What about homeboys? His grandmother smacked the shit out of him.
Oh, I mean,
He saved his life.
He had an infection on his tongue, actually.
He tried to do it the illegal way?
I don't know what way he
What?
tried to do it. It was like sophomore year. Alright, so niggas was getting it because
Oh, that was 07 then?
They were doing it because you put ice on it, and when you would go down on a girl, make it cold. So niggas was really doing that just for that purpose.
They got that from that same place Cardi B went for ass implants?
I hope not. I didn't ask no questions once I saw that. I just let them be, and I don't
She got a particular accessory. I'm good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm good, man.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, I mean, you weren't here, right?
I still wouldn't have known about that. Don't keep those people in my circle.
New York fact.
Oh man, so we got a guest with us. What's up, man? We got Oliver in the building.
What's up, bro?
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me.
Well, you know.
Took us a minute to get here.
You asked me, and I was like, we asked some other guests, and I was like, do I really want him on? Nah, I'm fucking with you.
I know it.
So what's up, man? Tell the people a little bit about yourself.
So I'm here in New York, from Charlotte. I do a podcast called In the Ring. Shout out to Ben and Eliza. We started off, none of us knew each other before the podcast.
Oh.
So Ben and I knew each other through a mutual friend. We never really hung out or anything like that. And Eliza was a random person found through LinkedIn actually. And so because I wanted to start something that I didn't really know anybody, because I wanted to make sure it was as unpredictable as possible. And so we came together as three strangers, and now Ben and Eliza hang out. We get together. They get together. I'm not here that often, but I'm sure they would hang out with me normally. But no, we hang out. Eliza had a housewarming party, and we all went there, and we get together and stuff. So it's gotten to be really good. And a lot of stuff is unpredictable. We don't know each other's backgrounds. We know each other's histories. We don't know anything really except what comes out. So if you're out there, you want something that starts with ding, ding, ding in the ring. You want to listen to Voice Your Choice, Oliver, go right ahead. We welcome all newcomers into the ring.
Yeah, that's actually, that could have literally went far south though.
Oh yeah.
You could just start hit record and nothing.
Yeah.
Cause y'all don't know each other, so y'all don't know how y'all communicate.
Oh, I interviewed everybody beforehand.
Oh, so these weren't your first. So these are the top choices.
Oh yeah, these are top choices. They beat out the competition. So I probably interviewed about 10 people, and it was you're not social enough. You're not wild enough. You don't have enough life.
Yeah.
You're boring as hell. That sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I picked them. I'm okay, I think these two will be pretty good.
What do you Craigslist ads? How do you find people to start a podcast?
Just friends of friends, just being hey, you know anybody that'd be pretty good, that'd be interested in doing something like this. Mm-hmm. Took me a long time. I started probably about 6 or 7 months before I actually started recording a podcast. It took a long time because you find somebody and it's gotta make a time commitment work and understand like, you know, you can't just be taking this shit just whenever you feel like doing it. Like, oh, you know, I'll see y'all next month. Like, that ain't gonna cut it.
Yeah.
So it just kind of wheedled people out, and then stuff was just ended up working out then, and you know, here we are.
So what do you guys like talk about? Like, what's your like basic premise?
I mean, we talk about everything. We do last couple episodes we've done stuff about, you know, babies. We've interviewed public defenders. We've interviewed people, real sad stories. People breaking up and being told all kind of crazy stuff like, you know, you're out there and you find out that like your significant other's cheating on you and stuff, and like you find them in bed.
Oh yeah, I heard this story.
Yeah, it was sad. It was sad. Like we started the episode with shots and stuff. We thought it was gonna be one thing and turned into completely different. But no, it was. So we cover all types of stuff. We don't really talk as much sports as I'd like to, but that's, you know, Eliza doesn't really like basketball. So we gotta wait till she ain't around.
Yeah, you gotta just drop that up in there every now and then. Just slowly just drop some basketball references.
Oh, I do. I try to drop references, you know, movies, basketball, things like that, you know, football. I think I dropped a reference about, you know, you go deep and everybody, if you hike the ball and everybody goes deep, nobody's there to protect you, you're going to be mad as hell because your ass going to be on the ground. Mm-hmm. You got to play your position. I think I was talking about side chicks. And so,
I can see how that reference applies.
But play your position. No, we've been reaching out. Probably the biggest one that we have coming up. Y'all familiar with the Real Side Chicks of Charlotte?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Why am I saying that so proudly? I am.
Well, I know that. Okay, yeah, there's one of the girls from that show that we're trying to get her to come on. She got boobs done, so you know she.
That's not surprising.
Yeah, so she's like, yeah, I went under that knife, so I'm like, all right, come on in.
So wait. Is that a real show though? I know like they were talking about like it was in production, but then nothing ever came to fruition. They won the Breakfast Club at one time.
Yeah. Supposedly it's on Netflix. It's gonna come out on Netflix. And I'm like, nah. Look, let me tell you something. First of all, I'm surprised they haven't been sued yet for copyright. Because I mean, they basically ripped off the Real Housewives logo completely.
Oh, they're not under the umbrella?
No, they look like
Real Side Chicks of Charlotte.
Oh.
It's Real Side Chicks, not
like
Real
side
Housewives.
chicks.
Oh, I didn't see that.
He's
like,
yeah.
was in the
Remember Charlamagne was like, why
Yeah.
are you doing this to yourself, ladies?
Yeah, but that was like over a year ago, and it was like over 2 years ago where I first like heard mention of it, but I thought it was a joke. I saw it on like the Shade Room or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this gotta be a joke. And then like a year later, they were on the Breakfast Club.
There's like 15 of them in there.
Yeah,
That
proud.
That one white girl, be quiet.
That's the one we're trying to get on.
Oh shit.
Looking for a doozy. That's gonna be a good
That's gonna be a good episode.
Get them views of it. A lot of views on that.
Might have to do that one in video, man.
That's dope. Wait, so how did the idea for the podcast come about? Like you just always wanted to do one, or?
Yeah, like I remember when I first moved to Charlotte, I just said I wanted to do something that was really different than what I normally do. You know this. It's when you work as a lawyer and you do, especially I work like with insurance companies and stuff. It's not. You die a little bit inside. It's awful, and so I was looking. You know, it's true. You just every day you come home, you're like, boy, I feel like.
I almost had a breakdown yesterday, so I will.
That's what the man and I did.
Oh yeah. And so I was looking for something to do. I was like, I want to express myself in a little bit different way, and I can't draw for shit, so I was like, let me just do a podcast. And,
Either or.
So I start looking it up and stuff, and then actually I heard Jarel was doing one, and then I was like, I think I should make this shit happen, and that's when I started the process of it and just said, look, I'm gonna try to find some people to do it, try to come up with a good context. I like listening to podcasts. Shout out to In the Conversation with Damian Lemon. That's one of my favorite podcasts out there. And then I messaged Damian Lemon because I was like, look, I'm thinking about doing this. He wrote me back. He was like, look, go for it, man. And I was like, how you recommend me actually get out there and make this happen? He's like, just publish it out. That's all I can tell you. Just publish it. So So I look up to him, and I'm like, you know, he went out there and made it happen. Obviously, he's got a little different following than me, but you know, just decided to go ahead and try it out, and then said, all right, let me find some people who are a little bit different than me, and there we go.
That shows a very like a go-getter mentality.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't know anyone, I just become like, fuck it, like I don't know.
I never heard of like someone doing a You did a Craigslist ad?
I did LinkedIn. I did texting people that I knew in Charlotte. I was like, hey, do you know anybody that's a good personality, like this sort of stuff? Reaching out to those people and trying to communicate with them. I think I went through Facebook. I went through all types of lists out there, like people who were deemed like most eligible bachelor or bachelorettes, like, you know, they might be interesting people. I found out that they were questionable. We did an interview with one of the most eligible bachelors, and that was interesting. That was interesting. Most eligible bachelorette didn't want to do it. She didn't want to do the interview. She said she didn't want her name to be Sully. So I said,
tarnish her brand.
I'm like, all right, you do you, nurse. Yeah, look, I come, just so y'all know, I come for everybody hard, so I don't take no prisoners. Yeah, so, you know, we just went out, just reached out to as many people as I could, use networks and stuff, and fortunately I got the crew I have in Ben and Eliza.
When did you launch?
It was in November of 2017. Yeah, so we've been live for about 6 months.
What have you learned?
Consistency is key. You gotta show the hell up. You gotta do it on a regular basis. You gotta actually give a damn. The sound, like getting the sound, is also really important. I know for episodes, I like the sound for us was like a little off, a little here, a little this, a little that. We finally got that down, and then you just gotta pub it. You gotta tell everybody about it, and it can't just be as like a pickup line.
Yeah.
Like you know, I know Ben will use it sometimes. Like women will be like, "Tell me something interesting about you." He's like, "I do a podcast." And we're like, "Really? Tell me about that."
It works.
Oh, it works. You know.
It works. And I do a podcast with two of my associates. We meet every Tuesdays around 6:37 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Hey, look, man, just gotta say, look, we national. We national. International.
You gotta tell them, yeah. It's on Spotify, Apple Play,
Yeah.
everywhere, actually.
Everywhere you hear music, you can hear me. So yeah, no, it's you know, we learned that. It's also really important to build your network of people that you can ask to come on. There's a lot of I find the interviews to be the most exciting, because, you know, we can talk about anything, but when you have somebody that you don't really normally interact with, you get a different perspective. And it also taught me to like actually pay attention to what's going on in the world. You know, like we get so caught up in our lives that, you know, stuff happens and you're not paying attention to it, but somebody else in the podcast is, and you're saying, "Oh shit, I gotta learn about that." Like we had an episode on sexual harassment lawsuits happening in Charlotte, and like some shit, like some yoga instructor, you know, doing, you know, some yoga, he owned a yoga club, and he's like, you know, touching on the yoga instructors and stuff. This dude shows up at 4:30 in the morning, posts a selfie the day he's supposed to go to court with him shirtless, saying, "Boy, I can't wait to face my accusers," with a big ass cheesy grin on his face. And I'm like, bro, who's your attorney? Who's your attorney? So like you learn so much of that stuff though, and it's a great experience. I mean, I can't tell you, there's so many people I've met that I never would have normally met. And then you also learn how to just let shit roll off your shoulders. Like, I had one girl that we're trying to get on. So there's a series in Charlotte on like how people spend their money, sponsored by Bank of America. So like people submit like 1 week's worth of stuff that they spend their money on. So people say I make, you know, $80,000 a year, and I track 1 week's worth of expenses. These are my recurring expenses. So everybody says like, "Oh, how these people live?" And so you should pretty interesting stuff. So I emailed the girl who she doesn't write the articles, she just posts them. I said, let me email her and ask her if you want to come along and do that. She's like, you know, I try not to do to take work with me on the weekends. So I was like, well, all right, well, why don't we do it on a weekday?
Yeah.
She's like, well, you know, it's just really hard. I don't know. I mean, could we meet in like maybe 4 weeks? I'm like, in 4 weeks, I don't even know what the hell's going on. Like, the only thing I can tell you in 4 weeks, I can tell you during the playoffs where I'm going to be. At 8 o'clock, I tell you that. I know I'm going to be in front of a TV somewhere. Well, other than that, I don't know anything else. And so I was like, you know what, look, get out of here. I'm not even stressing about you. So, yeah, I mean, I love it. It's probably one of the things I look forward to most every week. And just, you know, the network, the camaraderie that you guys have, and that's just, I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I something you said that really stood out to me was like about, I guess I never realized it until you just said it, but having to always stay current.
Yeah.
About current events, music, sports, like all these topics that we discuss. It's like we have to like keep the podcast itself relevant.
Yeah.
So it's like sometimes like we text each other like, yo, what do you want to talk about this week? And they're like, oh, what's about this? And I'm like, shit, I ain't even seen that, or I haven't even heard that yet. And then I have to like make this rush to like try to go, you know, listen to something or read something really quick. But it's like it's good because I should know what's going on around me at all times. Because if it was up to me, I would never. Like I get home, like shit, I'm going to sleep. Like
that's it. Look, that's at the end of a bottle. I don't know who you are. I know that. What's that bottle of tequila I have for you?
I don't know, bro. Yeah, I got it. I don't know.
It's called Cava de Oro.
I don't know.
No,
this shit is like straight from Mexico.
It's from you can only buy it in
Mexico.
This man.
It don't even taste like tequila. It tastes like just a sweet.
Look at
I'm trying to think, like no badass. Like I just remember like we was like drinking it straight, and it tasted so good, just like glass after glass. I mean, your ass get lit, obviously, but it doesn't take like it doesn't have that like that hard like kickback that normal tequila has.
Yeah, you don't feel it.
It's just so good.
You said it's like drinking juice.
What's the name of it?
It's I think it's like Cava de Oro. Actually, my coach Ben is the one who turned me on to it. He's like, oh, you should try this. I was like, shit, I'm done. I'm like, first idea, I contacted the dude on the ground. I'm like, hey, I need you to get this shit for me from Mexico. He's sitting there. I'm like, all right, it's time to start a pipeline.
Did y'all catch that? The dude
I
on the
I want to let young Oliver live. I didn't say that. I'm going to let him out again.
We want him to stay on the ground.
Well, no, that's why I hit me with a dude on the ground. Why? We all friends here.
Dude on the ground.
I'm glad that worked out.
Anytime y'all need somebody, you let me know. I got
that on the ground. That's funny. Yeah.
So I'm gonna let him rock.
So I'm assuming you drink this on a consistent basis.
Shit, look.
That's the thing I was saying.
Let me tell y'all something. Look, I already know my plan for Memorial Day weekend. I'm gonna be sitting back, sitting on my porch. I'm gonna be sitting on the side balcony, and then I'm gonna be. Yeah, look, I forgot. Hell, I forget where I am. I'm gonna be sitting there, a bottle on one side, a glass on another. I'm just gonna be watching the sunset. I'm putting my phone away. Nobody gonna find me.
Some great imagery.
Oh yeah, boy, look, it's gonna be nice and cool too. I'm gonna be feeling good.
Is this a special occasion?
No, this is it is. It's called my ass is home. Nobody home. Like I'm the only one there. No dog, no nothing. Like
no. Tell them how often you travel though. Like
I mean, I travel every week so far. I've been in New York for this is my third week. I travel Sunday, afternoon, Sunday evening, and I'm in New York from then until Friday night. I get back. Last week I got back at 9 or 10 o'clock, and then I'm in Charlotte for Saturday, and that's it. And I gotta take care of all my business. So I'm like, oh shit, I pay this bill. I gotta check my mail. I do everything else, and then I just get back on a plane, come back here. I get to rack up some area points. It's nice.
So how do you go about recording a pod?
Well, look. It's a tight schedule, and then sometimes we just record stuff ahead of time. If we know, hey, everybody's gonna be really, really busy, or sometimes that's when we don't have all three of us. It just may not work out that way. It might just be two of us, and then we just usually have another guest or something like that. We just talk things out. But everybody's got a busy schedule. I mean, Ben's a doctor.
Yeah.
He works, 7 days on, 7 days off type thing, and sometimes not that much. And he may work 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. or he may work 6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So it just kind of depends. And
does he work at the emergency room?
No, he's not that. He got a fake doctor. He's like internal medicine.
Oh,
so
play.
Yeah, he gets all the perks of being a doctor. We don't have no responsibility. We were at a Hornets game, and some dude fell. And they were like, "Is there a doctor? Is there a doctor?" So some guy was there. He's like, "Hey," man, could you help him out? So Ben walks over there and he's like, "You good?" He's like, "Yeah, I just fell." He's like, "All right." He just walks away. He walked away, and then and we went back to the bar, and the guy's like, "Yeah," he's like, "Wow, man, you're just so great. How about you want shots of Patron for free?" And we're like, "Sure." Hell yeah. So.
Life in Charlotte.
Yeah, man, life is good, but I'll tell you something. You coming here is nice, and you notice some things that you don't have. Like we got all kind of drama. Like a store goes out. Like Dina DeLuca in Charlotte went out of business. There's somebody didn't pay their rent or something like that. Now nobody has a Dina DeLuca anywhere in Charlotte. It's like you come here and you're like, oh, one store goes out like this 50,000 more.
That's so
nice. But then I go back and I'm like, you know what? Because I'm staying in Times Square right now.
Oh.
And I'm like,
Jesus.
get the hell out of here.
I don't blame you.
Get the hell out of here. I ain't have no choice. My office is right there in Times Square.
There's too many people.
There's too many damn people, man.
I work like 2 avenues down from Times Square, and just literally right across from Bryant Park.
Yeah.
Just too many people.
Too many.
Just not even walking.
Stop
Just
can't do
lunch
that.
breaks. You stop and just
To look up.
snapping pictures. Got people trying to today was the one. This girl almost got hit by a car. She literally went out into the middle of the street so she could take a picture, so her boyfriend could take a picture of her. And this is wild traffic's moving.
What?
I'm like, yo, these motherfuckers do anything.
This ain't living single. What the hell?
For a good picture, it's fucking crazy.
You got the picture?
Yeah, nigga, she got a picture. That shit probably fire. Her IG probably got mad.
Yeah, her IG is fire.
You better get at least.
Well, I wouldn't risk my life for it though. But it's just everyone's constantly just stopping and fucking freezing and looking up at shit and just literally in the middle of the sidewalk just pausing. And New York is just trained me to be a speed walker.
Yeah, man.
So I just can't do it. But it's funny though. When I was in Charlotte, was that 2-3 weeks ago now?
Yeah.
When I was down there, we got caught in traffic while I was driving, and I'm the only one down there honking my horn. If it's people honking in traffic, no one else was honking. My girl was relax, just stop and listen. No one else was honking. This is bumper to bumper traffic. And no one was honking except for me. You know motherfuckers honking a heartbeat here. I'm honking crazy. I'm sure they look at me like motherfucking Yankee Yeah, but I don't know. You didn't grow up in Charlotte, did you? You grew up in
I grew up all over. I was born in Louisiana, moved to Texas, lived in Florida, lived in Massachusetts, lived in South Carolina, went to college in Boston, went to law school in North Carolina, and then now I live in Charlotte.
Shit, why all the moving?
Every time my dad got promoted, we moved.
Damn, your dad's a hustler.
Hey, it was they made the decision early on. They're like, we're gonna follow his career, and every time, you did what you're supposed to do, kept moving. My mom, actually, shout out to my mom. She's graduating on Saturday. With a doctoral.
Mother's Day.
Yeah, with a doctoral. So she's she defended a dissertation successful. She did her PhD in 3 years. While working a full-time job and everything else. So shout out to her for letting me know that when I say I'm done, I ain't got shit to say. So I ain't got shit to say. But no, it's great. I'm so proud of her. It's something she's wanted all her life. And she put it on hold, for me to be able to go to college, my dad to be able to promote and stuff. And finally, she got time to finally do what she needed to do for herself, and she's getting the chance to do it. And, she's officially gonna be, doctor. So
That shit sound cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dr. Rasa.
This nigga.
Hey, your mom's cool and shit. What think about myself?
It's about me right now.
I don't know if I can go back to school again.
Oh hell no, I ain't gonna do that.
I can't.
And what's worse, I got a bunch of friends at business school. All them chumps, all of them. I'm like, where you going? I'm like, where the hell are you going? Oh, I'm going to Cairo. I'm like, you ain't got class? Who cares? I got a job. I'm like, wait, what? Like, I had a friend of mine come to New York.
Wait, what?
That man was in. That man was in Hong Kong. That man was in Hong Kong. He was in he went to Dubai. He was going to South America. Then he came to New York. He was there for like a week or so. He's like, I think I'm gonna go skiing in Vail. I'm like, what? I asked him. I said, do y'all just like skip class and stuff? He's like, everybody gets along. I'm like, shit, wouldn't have been happening in law school.
Hell.
What happened?
I think some classes, if you miss 3 the entire semester, was it 3? 6. If you miss more than 6, you fail automatically.
Oh yeah, I used to get emails all the time.
You fail automatically.
One L year.
Automatically.
1L year, I get all kind of emails that like, you missed 2 classes this year. I'm like, shit, y'all class at 8 a.m. man. I'm gonna do that one.
That shit used to be hectic. I remember because like it was if you got to 6, you failed automatically, and then some classes it was like up to the professor's discretion. Every class you missed after 3, he could drop you a letter grade. Yeah, automatically.
That shit was
so like the best you can give was a B, the best you can give was a C. Then after that, your ass failed. On top of that shit, law school's already curved. That's already on a curve. So whatever grade you get, you most likely not gonna get that shit anyway. Yeah.
I look back at that. I'm like, he's straight out of business school.
I used to hate that shit. But thank God for technology. Got my MacBook here, had my iMessages, my little G-Chat, watching TV sometimes. Just depending on what was going on. I used to always sit in the back. It's like the classrooms go up like this. I used to always sit in the back in the top row. Like, Mr. Ross,
Tell us about that case. I'm like, remember getting there, they'd be like, hey, I elbow you. Hey, they called you today? No, okay, good. They ain't gonna call me yet.
Yeah.
They gonna call me yet.
That's the thing though. When your ass just be like randomly on call, and you ain't read, oh, fuck.
You see people, all people like cliff notes of like the case is already brief.
Yeah.
That stuff, and they're like, you see somebody just googling something online real quick. They're like, gotta read that, and look, it always worked out. Somebody else would do that, it worked out fine. They would answer the question well. Then you would get it, and you'd be like, yeah, I know the rule for this case. I'm like, well, where did you get that rule from?
Yeah,
Tell me how you got to that.
That's
I'm
the worst. That's the worst. That shit used to always happen to me.
Yeah.
Like when I did not read, I would look at like a brief or something like that and see like the rule. All right, cool. Like how they came to this, the conclusion, all this shit. I would understand all of that. They'd be like, oh, what was the minority decision on this case? I'm like, what? Like, I'm just sitting there. And then just be quiet until someone else fucking jump in, like, help me, help me. Y'all see these fucking, I'm out here sinking, y'all out here just chilling, looking at me. Everyone just looking.
I ain't seen me.
That's what they do for real though. I would do the same damn thing. People just be fucking up in class. I would literally just do this shit with my head down. But no, real talk, because if you jump in and help them, then it's just easy. Professor just start talking to you. I want to talk to you. No eye contact ever.
It's article fire.
Let me not even look up. But you mentioned, so you want to talk. You brought up a topic to me about relationships and people being all up in your relationship.
All right.
Expand on this.
All right.
Well,
so
jumps, that's the word of the day.
Oh yeah. Let me tell you something.
Let me look.
So I had to read a book on. It's called. Hey, look. We get. I always have a reference. So I read a book called The Zimzum of Relationships. So it comes from like a Jewish word that means like the creation. So like in the beginning there was nothing, and there was God, and God created earth. All right. So in order for God to create the earth, you have to you gotta actually step out to create the space where the earth can exist, because otherwise nothing can exist in that space. So in the same context, when you're in a relationship, you can't be in a relationship with somebody unless you create the space to say, you can come into this area. Otherwise, that person is just kind of out there. So when you're in a relationship with somebody, you and that other person occupy the same space now. Mm-hmm. And so, to make a long story short, there's a couple of things in there. And one of the things they talk about is that space is sacred. So that means that nobody else should be in your space. So if you're in a relationship with somebody and you're having trouble with them, you shouldn't just be running to somebody else and bringing that person into your relationship. You should be seeking only a professional, or you should be seeking that other person to work things out, not go and run to other people and work stuff out. And so I don't struggle with that. My relationships, if I got a problem with you, I'm gonna come to you. I'm not going to talk to 50 other people. Like, you gonna know I got a problem. Mm-hmm. But a lot of other people you see, and I know, and like I'm hearing this constantly. People are like, I'm unhappy with my relationship, and they go and they go talk to somebody else, and then they bring somebody in, and then they start micro cheating with a person, and then it becomes macro cheating. Next thing you know, this other person's in your relationship, and you're like, what the hell are you doing? Like, this person knows everything about you, like, you know, and he don't even do me right no more. You know, he don't even talk to me. He always out. He don't even know what my favorite color is. Okay? That kind of shit. And it's like. And before you know it, you the dude or you're the other person, you're like, well, I didn't even know that there was an issue. This other dude know more about my relationship than I do. Mm. And I always tell people this, like, keep other people's asses out of y'all's relationship. That's how you get in trouble. I mean, have y'all ever been, like, you ever had a friend, I'm not talking about just asking for like very brief advice, but actually sits there and says to you, like, a girl comes to you and starts talking to you about her relationship and starts telling you stuff that you don't need to know about their relationship. You don't need to know how often they have sex. You don't need to know how often you think about breaking up with them. Like, why are you telling me all of this stuff? That's not fair to that dude. Then you go and you meet up, you go hang out with the dude, and you gotta act like, just put a big fat smile on your face, like, yeah, I know that she about to dump your ass, but I'm just gonna pretend like I don't know.
Mm. That sucks.
Hey, what them drink specials? my business, man.
You know, I'm gonna double you up. Because when you say that, it's like I think about this shit, and I'm not gonna use any names, but when I in law school, right? Mm-hmm. I would just see so many girls, and I mean guys too, obviously. But I just remember the girls. I don't know why they stuck out to me. Like, so many girls would cheat on their boyfriends, and then bring them like out, like when they would come in town and visit, and be having the same dudes that fucked them shaking their boyfriend's hand.
Oh,
I've seen that.
That's why it's a killing.
And I'm like.
So I'm in a room with everybody in the room know but the guy.
Yo, same hand, like everyone just looking, and I'm like, I feel bad for him.
I do too, but.
And he just out here just like cuffing, happy as hell to be with this girl, and I'm like, damn, like, yo, some people here don't have sex with her.
Can you come back from that?
No. Who?
Like
the girl?
No, like
the guy.
The guy, like
the unsuspected thing.
Yeah, like
he don't know.
He don't know.
When he finds out.
But when you find out, can you forgive them?
No.
Two people I know right now are married, and I remember just like seeing that on IG and just dying laughing. Like, it's just made me think, like, you know, made me think, one, like everything you see on IG like isn't what it is. Like, everyone portrays this like happy life. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, she was fucking someone else, and you met him, like. That shit is it's sad though, you know, because it's like, damn, I'm never gonna be that fucking person.
Yeah.
Like, when you in that room looking crazy as hell, you happy as shit, cuffing, like.
Buying drinks for everybody.
Yeah. They're like, it's to you.
I feel like you should get the intuition too, because if I was in a room, I would kind of feel that energy, like, oh, what's going on? Like, everybody's kind of like. It's something not tough. Like, when I feel uncomfortable in a room and it's about me, like, I feel it.
Oh yeah, of course you feel it. Everyone's like the side eye.
Yeah, everybody's looking at you like this, or you like looking at the, just stuff like that.
But if he did find out, Hell no, she gonna come back from that. Cause it's not like you just cheated.
You play me for a fool.
You
got me here, your friends parading me around.
You got me shaking the dude's hair, dapping him up like, yo, yeah, he a cool kid.
Where you meet him at?
We went on one trip.
Be careful.
We went on a trip. I don't care.
Like half the innocent.
I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I went on a lot of trips in law school. But two other guys went on a trip with us and her boyfriend. And I'm just like, this is insane. Like,
y'all got something in common.
I was just looking like
Eskimo brothers.
I was like, this is insane. Like I remember just like getting drunk, like we was going drinking. And I remember just like talking to the two, like they're my friends, whatever. And we just like talking, and we were laughing. I was like, shit, like I got what do you think about it, bro? I was just like,
nah, that's weird.
Nah, I can't do that.
I can't even hang out with them. Like if I know that your girl is cheating on you or he's cheating, I can't even be. I'm not gonna rat him out because I don't know him.
yeah.
But I can't be around. I feel so uncomfortable. I'm like, what the hell? Like, how am I supposed to shake your hand? It's like if you're the guy that's trying to fuck the girl and you meet her boyfriend, how you just shake his hand and be like, yeah, what's going on? Like
that happens every day.
It's none of my business. Because if you could do all that and not care, where would we robbing?
No, I'm talking like, all right. I was at
my drinks.
I was at a birthday party in Charlotte, and this dude shows up. He's dating this girl, and he like just finished spending like $10,000 on her going on a trip and all this other shit. And this dude shows up.
Talking criminal now.
This dude shows up.
You done spent my money?
I was like,
You talking
Go ahead.
Dude,
immediately went to prison. I was like, immediately.
You heard the boss?
I was like, yeah, I look good at orange. I was like, fuck. I look good at orange stripes. Like, that. Go ahead, my bad.
And meets this dude who's there with his girlfriend. That dude and his girlfriend been having threesomes with his girlfriend, with that other guy's girlfriend. And he just shaking his hand like, hey man, what's going on? Like, yeah, let me buy you a drink. Knowing damn well, like, yeah, I've been having threesomes with your girlfriend.
Yo, that's wild.
Like, what? And he found out on that, like, at that birthday party, he found out that she had been cheating on him with this couple.
How he found out?
Because I think somebody else got in a fight, and they said, like, yeah, that's why you covering for them. Or, like, he found out and was like, that man was
distraught.
He was like, I'm not really that mad. So what if I spent $10,000? It's no big deal. And he's like, it's the respect. I'm like, sure, yeah. You just disrespected. Okay, you don't care that you just sit on a trip where she could be having sex with somebody else on the trip that you paid for. You don't care about that. It's just disrespect. Oh, okay.
Things they were doing on that trip, and you only care about respect.
You only get shit.
Lips you get
somebody
respect.
Tell you something. That'd have been mutual defense then.
Listen, I ain't gonna say it.
Me neither.
But I agree with Kev. That's you talking criminal. Like 10K.
I'm sorry, mom.
Word.
Look, man. I'm telling you.
They'd be like, oh, have you seen such and such? Nah, she picked up one day and just left. ain't seen nothing once.
Yeah, man, ain't nobody no problem.
Where do they stand now?
Oh, they broke up. They had to go their separate ways. They had to. Come on, that's a bit much, man.
Like, relationships ain't shit. I'm sorry.
That shit just got dark.
Yeah, that sucks. I would be mad as hell.
What?
Disrespect.
But imagine how these men, that like goes along the lines of like marriage and like how much money men have to spend when they.
Yeah, how much you invested in. It's like, just break up with me. Like,
yeah, just break up. Just tell me you're not happy. Just tell me you're not happy.
They got like palimony, all this shit that women get. And I mean, I think times changing a little bit, but for the most part, men still ain't getting that shit from women.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. If there was one law I could change, child support, I'd abolish that shit.
Why?
Let me tell you, because it's stupid. Like, all right, so you have sex with somebody, and that woman decides she ain't getting rid of that child just because she's like, yeah, I'm about to get this child support. You fine.
But real talk though, there's a lot of women who do.
Yeah.
Who do use children to their advantage for.
And you can't say you can't say, oh, I don't want this kid, and you can't terminate your rights without them saying, sure, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, so you just fuck? Oh hell no, I'm not doing time for like that for 18 years.
But you know how you get fucked for 18 years though? If you sign the birth certificate and even that child turns out not to be yours, after that, because you signed the birth certificate, you're like legal father for 18 years. I don't, bro. Listen,
ain't no way in there.
They upside this shit. What's Swap the fuck out the baby.
Open your mouth.
Like I'll sign in 5 days when this test comes.
I got his on the back. I got
18. Imagine that shit. You sign a birth certificate and then you find out like a year later the baby ain't yours, and you're responsible for 17 more years.
Hell,
you can't go to court for that though.
Nope.
No.
Yeah, no.
Somebody's going to have to contest it.
Yeah.
And like try to. And I mean, come on, look. If you ain't contested it this far, you ain't contested it.
Yeah, that's true.
You out.
In New York State, if you have one child, that child is entitled to 28% of your of your net income every month of your net checks. Who the fuck? Listen, I would never spend 28% of my checks on a child ever.
You get 1%.
Uno.
This is that's raising my blood pressure.
Make a nigga hold door for
We're walking these streets now. Thousands.
You don't want to be like my boy over there talking about, I wasn't trying to get pregnant, but I didn't wear a condom. I didn't pull out, and she wasn't on the pill. I'm like, dude, you trying to get pregnant?
The day after.
He's like, yeah, we didn't do none of that.
Yeah, you trying to get pregnant.
I keep that 50 stash.
That's what they want, right?
Yeah, keep that 50 stash. Wait, the early do-rag on? Right to the way it reads.
With the road line?
I'm back.
You know how much it costs? $52.98.
Oh, y'all went on taxes? Alright, that's cool.
That's cool.
Don't worry about that.
You can take that little bit of money.
More boy.
Let's do it.
That's why I said you better go abroad. If you feel like, you
It's cheaper.
They ain't got no child support there.
He sound like you know he's talking.
Yeah.
Hey, look.
In this small world, though, they'll find your ass.
Oh yeah.
Social media, they'll
Facebook.
find you. They'll find you.
Say the old days, yeah.
Back in the old days, you could just go aside a child.
The old days, you was a town over. That's
20 miles that way.
I don't know where you went.
I just saw him walk and he disappeared.
Got them yellow pages.
Yeah.
Y'all see that
pages.
This Matthew Johnson? Nah, this ain't Matthew Johnson. Ah, shit. 499 more to go. I ran out of quarters. Oh, wow. Can't call nobody. I don't talk about cheating in relationships. That shit.
God is God, man. Please.
Because I was like, listen.
Please.
My only PSA for people, and I'm gonna look into the camera for this, is if you gonna cheat, do it right. Like if you're gonna do wrong, no, it's true. Look, my grandmother would say this all the time. If you're gonna do like, don't do wrong, but if you're gonna do wrong, you better do wrong so well it's right. There's nothing worse than somebody that does wrong and then idiot at doing it. Like if you're gonna cheat on a test, be intelligent about cheating on a test. Don't be walking around, looking around, getting up, trying to, sneezing, kind of stuff, tapping somebody's shoulder, pointing the other way. Don't do that. Like, do it right. If you're gonna cheat on somebody, know like I'm gonna cheat so well where I'm not gonna get caught. Don't be stupid. Like somebody said, oh yeah, they were cheating on their significant other, but they had their phone and all of their iPad and all that stuff synced up. So the girl was just reading a book on the iPad. She just starts seeing these text messages just appearing, and it's explicit shit. She's like, well, I know I'm getting cheated on. Like, don't be stupid. Like, do it right.
I don't know. I'm not saying that because I've gotten caught doing anything. I'm just saying it because cheating is hard. I don't know how people do that.
I agree. It's hard as hell.
It's too much. Like
one woman hard.
I love my brother, but this nigga, he be getting caught on an Apple Watch. Like he get caught with the watch. Like it's not even like he don't use it, so when they turn it on, all the messages start popping up. He got caught like that, and I'm just like, yo, like you got caught on a watch. Like you should have just not got caught. You should have just.
That's what Kevin Hart said when they asked him. Like a year ago, they said you cheat. He said, "No, I'm too dumb to cheat. I get caught."
That's not it.
And then he got caught cheating.
That shaggy shit don't work, man. It wasn't me.
That was 1990.
That's back when they didn't have phones.
Yeah, that shit. I know somebody that caught somebody cheating because they were like, they installed like one of them track me apps or something on the phone.
They doing too much.
Yeah, I'm like, shit.
That's doing too much.
Come on, man.
But I will say, like, one thing my mom, like, talking to my mom about relationships and stuff, she always told me, like, if you cheat, it's gonna come out. Like, whatever you do in the dark comes out in the light. It's gonna come out eventually.
Yeah.
And like, she's like,
that's so true.
yeah, so true.
I mean, that shit rattle in your mind. You're like, oh.
Cause she was like,
Mama was right.
She was like, I got a story. Like, she still communicates with her high school sweetheart. So like, they talk here and there. Like, they have similar birthdays. So like, she'll.
Your pops know this?
My pops and my mom are not together.
Oh, okay.
No, this was like my mom and my dad got together like when they was in their 30s. So my mom was with someone for a long time in high school. He went to college and they broke up or whatever. So they were talking on the phone, and then he emailed her, but he called her. I think he called her Stacy.
Ooh.
So my mom was like, "Who the fuck is Stacy?" So she asked him like, "Oh, did you mean to email me because you called me Stacy?" And he's like, "Oh no, I'm sorry, that was a mistake. This was someone that I used to have relations with back when I was in college." My mom was like, "Oh, okay, because when you was mostly in college, you was with me. So who the fuck is Stacy?" But she didn't even like ask him like that. Like she didn't care. But she was telling me like, you see, like 30 years later, I'm finding out now that this nigga was doing what he was doing, and I was just like, yo, that's real. Like, I'm sorry, Mom. I felt bad. She didn't care, but I'm just like, 35 years now, like you guys. Any hope of them two working that shit out? That was gone. I was like, fuck that nigga.
Take that shit to the grave.
Yeah, word. You should remember that. Relationships are crazy.
I mean,
look at
I don't know. Cheating is just, I don't know. It takes.
Just break up.
Yeah.
Just break up.
It takes too much energy to do it.
Back in the days that I was younger.
You old man now?
No. Like that shit was exciting to me. Like, so I would go through all the extra barriers and jump through hurdles and shit to be like deleting text messages and like fuck around like, oh shit, I forgot this message and then get caught anyway. And so like it's like just all this extra dumb shit and you're constantly paranoid. It's just unnecessary as fuck.
Okay.
You know how many times I got woken up fucking 3 o'clock in the morning like, no, not currently. in the past, and I was like, that shit gets annoying. You go out because we used to go out all the fucking time. 3, 4, come back home 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, and your ass get woken up. Someone's standing over you. Who the fuck is this? I don't want that in my life anymore. I don't need that.
I don't know nothing about that, man.
You see, you don't want to know about that.
Nah,
it's not fun. It was fun back then, but it's not fun.
It's too much work, man. One woman is hard. One woman is like, damn, I feel like I need to buy a second place, so that way I gotta retreat. Like I'm gonna say, hey, I'm in New York for work. I'm just gonna go to that other spot. Just hide out for a while. But 2 women, 3 women, I'm like, so hard, man.
It's so hard.
Every time I look around, I'm like, somebody, I need to buy this. Oh, shit, wallet, like.
That's real. You need that time apart though.
Oh, you do.
Yeah, especially in these New York City apartments. You guys be tripping over each other. You gotta be like, alright, I'm going out. Again? Yup.
Strong stroll.
Yeah. Just gonna go out for a walk.
Everything's alright? Yeah, it's alright.
But you learn a lot about someone when you move in with them, though.
I'm not even gonna talk about that one.
Okay. Next subject.
Next subject.
Let's on the roll.
Oh.
The relationships are nice.
Damn. I love you, baby.
Well, yeah, go ahead. Julie, I love you.
She already know.
Playoffs?
Yep, let's get into it.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, y'all watched LeBron though? Let me tell you something. There's few things better in life than when you watch the Toronto Raptors against LeBron. When it's a close game in the fourth quarter. Game one, I spent the whole fourth quarter just laughing. Because you knew what was going to happen. You knew what was going to happen. I told some people like, this Toronto team, they're top 5 defense, they're top 5 offense. This was different thing on the bench. Kyle Lowry's going to show up. All that shit. I'm like, let me tell you something right now. All it takes, only chance they got, they better blow out the Cavs every game. They better blow them out because if the game get tight, palms get sweaty, cheeks get tight. You know what's going to happen. And that's it. It happened. Game 1, Game 3. You knew. Game 3 was even worse because they thought they had a chance. They rallied back. They're like, yeah, we're going to get it. We're going to finally get this game.
And LeBron.
That was the
I said, well, and then somebody said, but they're gonna get it again. I said, look, after they lost the first 2, it's over.
I ain't gonna lie, I was one of the people. I thought that Toronto was gonna at least win 2. At least. Cause they just looked so I've seen them in years past. They looked way better this year. And granted, I know they're a regular season team. I know that LeBron has demoralized DeMar DeRozan. You think he's depressed now? It's a long off season for him.
What?
He Kyle Lowry's just hit or miss. It's either he's on or he's completely off. Game 4, he had 5 points or some shit.
Yeah.
In 34 minutes, if you start him all-star point guard.
He garbage.
But once that series started, game 1, they gave it their all. And once they lost that,
wasn't even as usual.
Yeah, he was tired and he had a
whole game
for him inefficient. Yeah, it was he shot under 50% or right at 50, and then everyone was like, "Wow, LeBron looks like
he's tired."
Instead of off game, I'm like, people would die for these stats, but
yeah, he had all game. He had 26 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists, and it was a very he went 12 for 30. That's what he did.
Yeah.
It was an off game for him. But everybody else had a fucking amazing night for him.
Yeah.
So they won. LeBron had a bad game. Then game 2, when they got blown out in game 2 at home, I said, all right, nah.
Yeah. That man was just shooting. That was a game the man was just shooting fadeaways.
Crazy fade. He had 8 in a row.
Yeah, he was just I'm just showing off.
Context, I was watching in a bar, but the TV was on mute. I'm with my girlfriend. He's just taking these crazy shots. I'm just calling for it. After a while, it's just you expect he's gonna hit every one of them.
Yeah.
And they got more ridiculous and ridiculous.
His fadeaways, I've never seen the way he covers so much ground,
so much art.
He literally gets way back. The ball goes way high. And it's and I'm
way blocking this shit.
And I'm damn, but he can only do that against Toronto. Those fadeaways, with that kind of consistency. He just feels so uber confident against Toronto. I don't know, man. I felt bad for them. I felt bad for Drake.
I didn't feel bad for them.
I didn't feel bad for Drake. This is the first time I did it.
Drake should take that L. Just shut that. Look, if you lost, how many times they've been eliminated 2 straight years before this one? This is the 3rd straight year.
3. Yeah,
they lost 10 in a row.
Yeah,
they lost 10 in a row now in the postseason. No,
to Cavs.
To Cavs.
12.
It's
they just got our number.
Man, look, I'm just gonna look until we up 2-0. I'm just gonna shut the hell up if I'm that. I'm just gonna be I'm just gonna hide. I'm gonna be there and cheer. I ain't gonna try to say too much because if your team is getting killed like that every year, every time you run into this person, last 2 years you've been swept. Not beat, not 7 games, not 5, not even 6. Swept. and you can't get nothing done, you gonna sit there and talk something? I got something.
I remember, I don't forget if it was last year or the year before, they were down in the series, and somebody asked LeBron how he felt about it. It was like an adverse situation. You remember that? He was like, I've been in adverse situations. This is the one. Before the game, I was like, damn.
That wasn't that. Look.
And most people wouldn't say that unless you don't want to like inspire the other team and like get them all amped up. But imagine someone just telling you that to your face. Like, you got him on the ropes and you beat his ass. And he's just like, this ain't done. And then come out and beat your ass.
That's crazy.
I mean, adverse situation was down 3-2 to Boston in 2012. That when he had that like 45 game, and they like that was like if y'all lose this game, the big three in Miami is over. That's adversity.
Yeah.
When you down by like 5 to the Spurs in Game 6 in 2013, that is adversity.
Yeah.
But this, come on, man.
I still think that 2012 when they were down 3-2 to the Celtics, like one of his most
that
dominant.
was
an iconic game.
That was like one of his most.
He didn't smile. He didn't say anything, and he didn't miss.
Yeah.
He did not miss.
That's the one time that I like really like I saw him like not being passive.
Some ridiculous shots.
Yeah.
He knew what was up. He lost that one.
So good in that game.
It was all she wrote. Y'all seen the Celtics and
I've seen all of them.
Yeah.
What you think about the Sixers? What's going on with them?
That looked promising, but then it was like,
They're the hardest team for me to be able to pick. They're the hard, like, Ben Simmons has looked god awful in this series. It's like he played against a coach. I'm a Heat fan, unapologetically. He finally played against a coach that knew how to scheme him, and it's like, dude, like you gotta learn how to shoot a shot. Like I saw this man taking jump shots from 5 feet, couldn't hit them. I'm like, dude, like come on, man, like. But I've been saying, I think that for this series, they actually need to almost play Ben like they played Magic back when Kareem was out and they played Magic at center. Because when he plays out on the perimeter, nobody's guarding him. He's got to play inside and let Embiid almost invert the offense, which sucks because Embiid is so good and he can be so talented inside, but they've almost got to invert it. I just don't know if he can play down low in the post. But he should be able to because any guy he's going to cover, he's going to mismatch against. Yeah. If they're a point guard, if they're a guard, they're going to be too small. If they're big, he's going to be too quick. So he's got to be able to just like basically catch the ball on the block and just make a quick decision. Like I'm either going to pass this, kick it out to a shooter really fast, or if I've got a mismatch, I'm going to punish this dude. Mouse in the house. I'm going to kill this dude right now.
Yeah. You know how like he basically messed himself up though all season. It's not even like the fact that he can't shoot. It's the fact that he won't shoot.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta at least, like, give the appearance that, you know, I'm gonna at least be willing to shoot these things. He won't even take a jumper. He shot, like, I gotta take it from line. Like, no more than 15 threes the entire season.
I didn't know he took one.
I didn't think he took that many.
Yeah, see? And that's me being, like, gracious about it. He could have took less than, like, 6, you know?
I really don't know if he took one. I'm not even kidding.
I know he took one because the one time we checked this, like, back in November, he had taken one. But
that one man.
Remember you mentioned it to me, and I was like, one? And it was like November. I was like, that's it, he only attempted one? Like, he does not shoot them. He'll be wide open. And, like, even self-check, Andre Roberson, he can't shoot shit. But he at least puts them up there. You gotta give the appearance like, hey, I'm gonna shoot them. Every now and then they're gonna go in. Yeah. And as soon as they go in, you're gonna draw the defense out, and then you can go right by them. But if I know you can't shoot, I just wait back, and I'm like 3 steps ahead of you. You can't get around me. Yeah. Then what?
Even Rondo attempts a shot.
Yeah,
if he's not wide open.
Rondo's exactly. And Rondo can't shoot for shit either.
No. How about Rondo with them games with like 24 assists? That man had like 20. He had at least 20 assists in that one game.
24.
He had like 24.
And 4 points.
I'm like, how do you get only 4 points, but you got 24 assists? Like nobody figures, oh man, but this guy got the ball in his hand. We might be clogged the passing lanes against you.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Most of them kicked to Anthony Davis.
Anthony
Davis, and that night everyone was hitting their threes. That's what assists is really about. People just making it.
Well, tonight they're going home. It's gonna be 1-2-3 Cancun.
Aren't they playing now?
Yeah, they should.
Or is it,
no, they play. Golden State plays at 10:30. I think the Rockets.
I ain't staying up for that.
Are the Jazz going home?
Yeah, they going home.
What you think about Donovan Mitchell?
Tonight they going home. Because if the Rockets are smart, they're gonna send them home tonight. Because you don't want to be Golden State sending the Pelicans home.
Yeah,
you don't want to be playing those 6 games at Utah and then have to play a game 7 and then you gotta go play against that squad. Shit, I would put them away.
So who you have between the Rockets and Golden State?
Golden State.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Golden State. They don't.
Never blown to any of that. They look weak and you can't put a stat on effort.
No,
like, it's clear they weren't trying.
They look more vulnerable this year than they did last year. But they're still. I mean, you talking about more vulnerable. Oh, that might mean that LeBron might more convincingly win 1 game against them. That's not like.
I don't even think that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
No, I think this squad.
I think if like Cleveland wins 1 game,
They're gonna send a message.
that shit gonna be close.
Bron might
have to go 50.
Gonna make me hold my head if you win a game.
Yeah, you gonna have to get an IV right after the game.
Oh, yeah. They carrying it off the court. Like 50, 18, and 12.
Bron gonna leave Baldy. Like,
He's even here on the court.
Leave it all on.
like the barbershop.
They're gonna be stretching love out. That's after a win. I don't see it.
Me neither.
JR with the Henny.
I think they make it. Honestly, they gonna get swept.
Yeah, their best bet is they better hope the Rockets can pull it off.
But they can't beat the Rockets either.
Warriors
They could make it interesting. They could make it interesting.
I think they play the Rockets, they lose in 6.
They should have the number 1 seed in the MVP, but I don't see it.
Toronto's the number 1 seed.
No, in the league.
More in the East, I was saying.
Oh, no.
Look how they fared.
No, the Rockets. Because the thing is, the Rockets don't have. I mean, they got Clint Capella, who I think is overrated. But they're like, Clint Capella's so good. He runs the floor. Look, if you're a big man, if you run the floor, you're gonna get at least 8-10 points a game. Mm-hmm. Especially when you got nothing but guards and shooters around you. If you run, you're gonna get some easy baskets that way. If you're an offensive rebounder and a hustle player, you're gonna get a couple of putbacks that way. There you go. I just got you 14 points. If you rebound, especially against teams like in the West, I mean Rudy Gobert is a big, but like JaVale McGee and those guys, you can rebound against them.
Yeah.
That's not somebody saying they got a double on that team. I'm not.
Yeah, but
I got one at the burger joint.
But if in your era it's uncommon for big men to run the floor and you're the one that's doing it.
Oh, I mean,
then that makes you good comparative to your class.
I'm telling you, man, if you were 7 feet tall right now, you could fly to the moon with as much money as you would get. All you gotta do is be in shape, run the floor, and block shots, and you like the best big man. Think about DeAndre Jordan. DeAndre Jordan is getting what, $20 million a year to do what? To suck at the free throw line, not have an offensive game, and just catch lobs? Shit, I can protect the rim. And protect the rim. But that's it. That's it. But that's and even
in terms of Capella, he's good when they switch on like wings. He can kind of stand in front.
He does.
He can do that.
That's very valuable.
That is true. But would you pay somebody $100 billion a year?
Look, there's a lot of contracts I wouldn't give out.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If you were 7 feet, you could fly to the moon with as much money as you get.
Y'all hear that?
Yeah, I've been hearing that.
What the hell that is?
Somebody got a stat.
I can hear it sound like an iPhone ring. That shit ain't mine.
That ain't mine. But no, Utah. Oh wait, who y'all got for Rookie of the Year?
Ben Simmons.
What you got?
Same. I got Ben. Old Benny Ben. Because it's about the regular season, not the playoffs.
I got Ben, but this is tight. Honestly, I think it's co-MVP because you gotta do. Yeah, they did it before.
Turn my nose up to it.
And I mean, look, you got a dude that basically stepped in for Gordon Hayward, a dude that's considered an all-star, great player, and he basically took a team that nobody expected to make the playoffs and got them into what was it, the 5th seed in the West. Mm-hmm. I think Ben's great. I think Ben is my Rookie of the Year if I had to pick one, but he also has Embiid. He got Embiid, and the East is not the West. and you got the Washington Wizards, the Miami Heat with no stars, with Hassan Whiteside playing like a punk.
They beat the Cavs.
He averaged 15, 7 and 7, I think, beating Ben Simmons.
Yeah,
shot over 50% from the field.
Yeah.
well, he can't shoot from the perimeter, so
It's a thing,
Yeah,
but
but
if you know someone can't shoot and you still.
It's the you know what it is? It's this when we laugh and this.
Oh.
we stopped chuckling.
Just get the shit out of me. What's going on? But no, if you know someone can't shoot, it makes them easier to defend. Somehow you still made it to the baskets. You shot on 50% from the floor, so.
I mean, he's my rookie of the year.
Yeah.
Because I think he's what he's doing is transcendent. I mean, for a guy that can't shoot, to have a team, to position a team to be number 3 in the East, and legitimately going into the postseason, especially with all the crap that was going on with the Cavs, for them to be like actually a chance to get to the finals.
To most, but not all.
Based off the playoffs, though.
Oh no, based on
Donovan
Mitchell is like it's night and day. But,
yeah, he ain't got shit on that.
So Cavs Warriors final.
Cavs Warrior final.
You give Bron any games?
I give him one. Ain't nobody like to me. I don't think he's gonna get swept. But real, I just it's hard.
It's a possibility though.
It is.
It's the run he's on, but because of the team, this is gonna be the end. It's just what a waste.
Do you?
It sucks. Have you seen the stat lines?
Oh, it's insane.
44. I think his lowest game was at that 26. You said how much 40-point games? Well, 2 game winners. 2 40-point games. What 530 plus?
Yeah.
He's wow.
He's averaging like 34.7. I think.
Does this loss in the NBA Finals count against his legacy?
Not to me, because his perspective, the only team that's beat him had 3 or 4 All-Stars.
Yeah.
Like when I look back, even when you go to the Spurs, you just switch that with Hall of Famers. Not to me, because it's just so unfairly stacked.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, think about it. 2016 when he went, Kyrie was out, Kevin Love was out.
He's still pushing the 6.
Pushing the 6, and then the following year they won. And then the following year after that, when KD was there, I already knew how the season was gonna end.
That Cavs team was great.
Yeah,
but because of the Warriors.
But even during the year, like the Christmas Day game, when I saw them play, I was like, yeah, they ain't got shit for them.
Yeah.
Like, the Warriors, they just too stacked.
That was fully healthy.
Yeah, everyone can fucking shoot. I hate the fucking.
I hate them so much.
I hate them.
I was watching a game with Shafin and Terrence, and Shafin root for them. He's like, why you hate them so much? I'm like, it's so unfair.
Yeah.
It's so unfair.
It's like they stack the deck and then they talk shit after they.
I know. It's not impressive. You should be with.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. That's why I don't give like people are like, oh, Durant got Finals MVP.
Oh,
like,
come on, yeah.
That's shit to me. Like you sitting around here, I can get Finals MVP if I can be guarded. I can't be doubled.
Yeah.
You can't almost every great player, unless you're the Toronto Raptors, you're gonna get doubled.
Yeah.
And the fact is, you can't double him, and you can't even really play him that close. Like I remember last year in the finals, you see J.R. Smith, you see them on a fast break. Steph Curry runs to the corner, and Kevin Durant's driving the ball up on a fast break, 2-on-1 against J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith runs to go cover Steph Curry and lets him get the layup. And it's because it's the right play.
Yeah, and everyone was talking shit about that. Yeah,
and then it's the right play because what you gonna say? Which one do you think is better, the guaranteed 2 or the guaranteed 3? I'm gonna take that. And then that's not even talking about Klay Thompson, who is probably a top 5 shooter of all time.
I don't understand.
This year, they really just gotta if Draymond hit his shots, they don't have to leave him open.
That's exactly what I would do.
Yeah, Draymond.
And if Draymond hit, then
Draymond about to beat me.
Yeah.
Draymond about to average 30. Fuck that. I'm hugging the rest of these motherfuckers.
You ain't going nowhere. No way.
That's the thing too. I mean, I give them their props though because even someone like Steph Curry, he sets so many screens and he's constantly running back and forth. Shit.
You know you in for a workout when you play in. You're like, running up and down that court.
And it only takes him 2 seconds to catch the ball and shoot. Less. Get the ball and just flick that shit.
Yeah, the Rockets any games against them?
I think gonna get a game because the Rockets gonna get a game against Golden State.
Just one?
Ooh.
It's hard to judge them because they shoot so many threes that you got a puncher's chance in any game. Because if you got you got too many guys that can hit shots at such a clip, and they're deeper.
We praying. Go ahead.
But I'll say one, but I believe that's Golden State in 6.
That's what I got too. I'm praying for CP3 just because he went to Wake Forest, and you know.
Well, I'd like to see somebody
I'm
other
praying
than
for him too. So LeBron get the lesser too easy.
Yeah, and I mean, I just like to see somebody other than Golden State because I mean, honestly, if Golden State goes again and you're LeBron and you're free agent this year, if you're trying to win a title, your option you have to go stack the deck. There is no way that you can stay in Cleveland, that god awful franchise, and stay. Hey, look.
Yeah, another season like this when he's older might kill it.
Hey, that's facts. Knock on wood though, but if he has to keep carrying the burden like this,
he goes
leading the league in minutes regular season, playing all 82. I think he leads the league in minutes in the playoffs.
He does.
Yeah.
Yesterday they swept. I mean, they like busted Toronto ass. They still play like 42, I think.
Yeah.
I think Gardy got a couple of days.
Yeah.
I don't know how the man does it. Like,
when is the? He got until at least the weekend, right?
Yeah, it should be like Sunday or Monday.
yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, y'all, I hear they got Cartoon Network has another channel here in New York. It's called during basketball season called what is it, MSG with a Knicks player.
Oh my god.
A real joke out there.
Like Cartoon Network got another channel.
Yeah.
New York local.
Y'all like watching the funniest, man?
Listen, we got Coach Fizdale now.
Mm-hmm. He's saying the right things about KP.
Yeah, he said some bad things about Noah.
Good. We don't
No, not bad. Sorry, he said the wrong things about Noah.
Well,
He
we
said
want him.
he said he'll let him back in. After they have a conversation. He says the right
He
things.
got his beard back.
If he says the right things, he on drugs. He said anything to get back in. That's how crackheads do it.
That's how crackheads do.
They know all the right things to say. You're like, oh, really? Yeah, come back.
You seen pics of Noah?
I haven't seen him recently. No.
Oh,
I didn't even know that was him.
Oh, like
Okay,
dyed
he
dyed
his
his
beard
beard, right?
blonde and
What the hell?
some a la shit.
He was in the forest or something?
Yeah, looking like he definitely was on some shrooms.
What the hell?
Yeah, he looked fucked
Yeah,
up.
they sent him away from the team and them checks still
Them checks still clearing.
Oh,
He get like 18 mil, right?
Leave it to the Knicks to be paying somebody out in the woods somewhere.
Listen, they're still paying Phil,
Yeah.
still paying Noah,
Y'all still paying? Who else y'all still paying?
Derek Fisher.
Yeah.
We still playing Derek Fisher too? Who's the other one? The other
Oh, Derek Fisher been gone.
Woodson?
Mike Woodson not. This
Oh,
part
okay.
last year, probably the last
Yeah, he
one.
finally-
But Derek Fisher is this upcoming season. Derek Fisher's last season getting paid. Phil Jackson still getting paid. But this always been the Knicks though. Like even back in like the early 2000s, fucking Eddie Curry ass was like his ass was still getting paid. Only in the NBA. And the Knicks are like the prime example. That shit always happens to. Like they pay people and they just send them away.
That was my favorite time with the Knicks. Other than like 90s, like when the Knicks were actually good. Is when Stephon Marbury was here.
Starberry.
Starberry was on. Like I remember there was a milk carton, and they had his face on there, and they said, "Have you seen me?"
Damn. He's still trying to push some sneakers out here. Trying to attack Jordan.
Legend out in China.
He retired now. I can't do it though, beloved. He's like $20. I got Jordan. Y'all buying expensive ass sneakers.
Who's doing better, him or Big Baller Brand?
What? Wait.
That actually might be a close
No.
conversation.
Stephon Marbury.
Starberry.
Starberry
They
and Big Baller.
that by the business bureau.
A lot of businesses at by the BBB. That shit don't change nothing.
Well, a lot of people saying they haven't released.
That shit was funny. Shannon Sharp he said it took him like 5 weeks to get his sneakers. He's the first person that made that joke. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna put him to the other BBB. Business bureau. $500 for some sneakers. They take you 5 weeks to get them. Must think they Kanye. Oh man. All right, I think I'm gonna tap that. You want to talk about Childish Gambino?
Oh no, it was just his video came out over the weekend.
This is America. Thoughts?
I don't know. I really don't get it yet. I'm still trying to figure it out. Actually, did you guys see it?
I saw it. I don't understand it.
I saw the episode first in the morning, and then I saw the video later. It's a lot in there. I think it's like
That's a lot.
symbolism about society. Huh?
You said the episode, the Atlanta episode?
No, he was on SNL.
Oh, okay.
So he performed like 2 new songs. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. I think they're new. And at the end of it, he was like, my video's out on YouTube and found it. Yeah, you got him killing a unarmed black man. You got him killing a church choir. So I thought those was like references to what's happening in society. Got him running away from white people at the end. It's just a lot. You got the way he treats the gun versus the body in the video, like the care is given to the gun, like he hands it over versus the body being dragged. You could read a lot into it. I think it's like multi-layered. You could also say it's like an entertainment metaphor about how blacks are treated in entertainment as well. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely something that you have to watch more than once to like fully digest it. It's because like on like my initial watch, that was the first thing I noticed. I was like, oh wow, like this is about, you know, like, because I saw like the shoot up the church and those things. I was like, okay, yeah, this is like a very like race motivated type thing. And then like other scenes, I was just like, where's he going with this? I tried to rewind it, and I kept finding myself rewinding parts, and then I was like, let me just watch this shit straight through. Yeah. But I still don't have like a full understanding of. I mean, I understand that it was meant to be thought provoking. I mean, I will say it's like it shows how great he is.
He is. So
that it shows how.
Atlanta? No, I've been wanting to watch it. I got too many damn shows I need to catch up.
Oh, I want to change this up. Yeah,
it shows how talented he is. Because I was like, shit, this is amazing. Like you know something's amazing. You know you don't fully understand it yet, but you're like, yo, this is amazing. Yeah. That was like my initial like reaction to watching. I was like, this is fucking amazing. Like,
and the way he delivers things, like it's so timely and it's just there. You don't know what he's working on, just there. Because I saw he's going on tour, so normally you assume music may be coming, but with him he could just be
going on tour for his own shit. Yeah. He's very unpredictable about even like his release of music because he does so many things. So like a well-versed artist, like person in general, not just an artist, like fucking movies and other shit. Like
even on SNL, there's a couple skits with him that are legit funny.
Yeah. He does stand-up comedy.
Everything he does is successful. Like he got the Star Wars movie coming out. His album is guaranteed to go platinum. He's gonna have the tour. Atlanta. Like, I don't know.
He in the trifecta.
Basically, like the next Will Smith, basically.
Well, we've been looking for one. So certainly ain't his son.
The icon?
Look, one of my dad's cousins that died, they said he was an icon too. They don't make it true.
One of my dad's cousins. That's
a perfect. Oh my god!
Please
plug everything. Tell people where they can find the podcast, all that stuff.
All right, you can find it In the Ring on Google Play. You can find it on SoundCloud. You can find it on iTunes. You can find it anywhere a podcast are. You can find us. You can find us on Instagram too. So we ask all types of very deep questions like, would you rather pay child support or pay alimony? So
those are hard questions.
But thank y'all so much for having me.
Man, definitely. So what's the Instagram hat for the podcast? You said you can find it.
The Ring Podcast. You can find us there. Don't look. You'll know it when you find it.
All right, man. Thank you for coming on.
Oh, thanks for having me, man.
Good conversations.
Yeah, it was fun, man.
I went from jail to basketball.
Cheating
to jail. Cheating, then I went to jail. Yes. Got out. Went to watch an NBA game. But nah, man, thank you for coming on. As always, thank you for supporting the podcast, you beautiful listeners. Make sure y'all keep rating and sharing and subscribing to the podcast.
Go on YouTube.
Oh yes, my bad. You see, we were out here for a long time. We stayed late to record this for you guys, and that's why I'm fucking up.
Normally blaming the listeners.
No, I stayed here for you. I stayed here for you. That's why my mind is drawing blanks. So y'all should appreciate this shit. Nah, I'm joking. But make sure y'all go check out the YouTube page. We got full length videos up there. Make sure you check out the IG page as always. We know we constantly posting new content for you guys. So yeah, just keep checking out. We're gonna keep bringing this fire ass podcast to you. Till next time, it's Coolin Out.
Stay cool.
Woo! Do it, boy.
Okay,
Oh, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thanks all for having me.